In this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to set up your Thinkorswim for day trading. We'll go step by step, laying out and cleaning up your charts, adding your indicators, and saving it all so you could load your setup in just one click. Then we'll build a grid so you can watch all of your tickers of interest on one screen. We'll set up your active trader for fast entries and exits and spread it across your monitors. By the end, you'll have the same clean layout that I use to trade every single day. So without further ado, let's get started. This is what the default layout looks like on Thinkorswim if you go and start at the charts tab. By the end of this video, it's gonna look very clean and simple. On the left side tab, we could delete all the gadgets that are adding noise. For example, we don't need Tetris, we don't need Trader TV, we don't even need this. The one section I do use on this left side tab is the watch list. So if you want to add a watch list, go to your left side tab and click add gadget and you can add watch list. Here, this is the default watch list of indexes. You could edit that by clicking this button and click create watch list. Here you could create your own custom watch list. So for example, here I might write my name, Damaris Trades, and you could add all the symbols that you're interested in watching. These are some of my favorite tickers: SPY, QQQ. To actually trade options on, I like Amazon, Apple, AMD, Coin, Cost, Tesla, PLTR, Meta, Microsoft, MSTR, Netflix, and Nvidia. This is my main watch list of stocks. These are the tickers that I analyze each day. So once you create your custom watch list, you could add your name and click save, and it'll show it on this left side panel. You could make your watch list bigger just by dragging this down. Most of the time when I'm navigating Thinkorswim, I keep this left side panel closed, so you could close it using this arrow. Now we're gonna be going over setting up your main analysis chart. So on Thinkorswim, at the top, these are your main navigation icons. Look for the charts tab and select that. Once you're in the charts tab, you could find this area, and this is where you're going to be able to choose any ticker. You could type in Apple or Amazon or Netflix, any ticker that you like. The first thing I want to go over is setting up a custom appearance on Thinkorswim. This is the default appearance, but the first thing we want to do is optimize our chart settings. So at the top of your chart, you should see this settings icon. Sometimes if your screen is really small, or if you made your font size too big, you might not see that settings icon. Instead, you will click this icon, and there you could find the settings. So go to chart settings. On the general tab, there's probably a couple settings you'll want to add. If you want to see your stop loss and your target limit orders, you're going to click show orders. Also, you could show alerts. I like to show arrows only. Studies, show studies, yes. Snap drawings too. You want to change this to OHLC. This will make your support resistance and supply and demand zones more precise. Keep your price axis on auto. If it's something else, it might look weird. Also, make sure you have this turned off. You do not want to show price as a percentage. In your time axis, you could add an expansion area. So for example, if I add 10 bars to the right, it adds a little bit of space here. So adding an expansion area can be useful. For favorite time frames, these ones are my favorite time frames. You could pause and you could add each of these time frames by adding the time frame, going to intraday, choosing your aggregation period, which would be the actual time frame. Like if I wanted a 2-hour time frame, I would select 2 hours, and then I would change my time interval to 360 days. 2 hours is the actual time frame. The time interval is how far back you scroll back. For appearance, make sure you have a candlestick chart on. If you have Heiken Ashi or candle trend, you might get a less clear read of the candlestick patterns. Also, on default, it makes the green candles not filled in. I like my green candles filled in so I could see them easier. Also, I like to change my red candlesticks to pink, so you can do whatever sort of customization on your candlestick colors. You could have pink and green. I know another common color combination is blue and white. You could customize your candlesticks to any color that you prefer, and you could also customize your background color. You could make it red, which is crazy, or what I like is choosing the blackest black as my background color. Also, you'll see on the chart, we have a lot of these lines. So you could turn off grid if you don't like the appearance of those lines to clean up your chart. Also on time axis, you could control if it shows the vertical lines. So you could turn off those vertical lines if you want to clean up your chart, or you could also leave them on. Each of them do have a purpose. On equities, you could turn off show volume and it'll make that volume go away. For me, I prefer to put my own custom volume on the chart. And also for equities, I like to turn off extended hours. For futures, you want to make sure that you have adjust for contract changes turned on, and you could keep extended hours turned on for futures. You could also remove volume subgraph. Once you've added all your settings, click apply and click OK. Here's an example appearance. For me, I prefer to keep it green and pink. Once you've customized your appearance and you've added all the settings that we went over, then you could also add the studies that you like to use. So for example, on the daily time frame, a very common study combination is the MACD and the RSI. You could type those in by going to studies, edit studies, typing it in here, double clicking to add it here, and you could load it to your chart. Once you customize your chart settings, once you customize your appearance, and once you add your indicators and select your time frame, then you could save this as a style. So your style is your saved load up that includes the time frame, the chart settings, and the indicators and the appearance. So if we go to style here and we click save style, maybe I'll call this one day time frame with the MACD and the RSI. You're going to check on include patterns and study set and click save. Once you've created that style, you could also create a separate style without any indicators, just with your chart settings saved. Once you save that style, you could also remove your studies and save another style without any indicators loaded on the screen. You could go to style and click save style and give it a new name. One day, no indicators. So I'm going to show you the benefit of saving a style. Let's say you logged off of Thinkorswim and you came back and all of a sudden it looks like default. You lost all the work you just did. You didn't lose it if you saved your style. So you could go to your style and you could load the style that you saved. This is the one we just saved, the one day with the MACD and the RSI. And also, this is the other one we saved, the one day with no indicators. From the default style, we could instantly load all of the settings that we just saved by using the styles. You could use the charts tab as your main navigation tab, and then you could use the flexible grid tab to watch more. On the flexible grid, you could click this button that says show grid actions, and then you could select customize grid. When you select customize grid, this pop-up comes in the middle of the screen, and you could add more charts to your screen. So if I wanted to watch multiple tickers, I could load them all here. Meta, Microsoft, MSTR, and Apple. I could load them all just by typing their name in this box. Once I add all the charts I want to look at, I could go back to show grid actions and uncheck customize grid for those little pop-ups to go away. And as you can see, as I've loaded these 4 new tickers, all the chart settings I just did went away. So we're gonna go to style and we're gonna load the style that we saved to apply all of our custom chart settings and appearance. This is one example of a view, so you could watch multiple tickers at once. If you want to zoom in and just watch one of the tickers, you could right click on it and maximize the cell. You could click this button to minimize it, and you could right click on another one to maximize it. You could switch through the tickers using these arrows. So whatever combination of indicators with the time frame that you use, you could save that as a style. So for example, I set up a high time frame style for the daily chart with the MACD and the RSI because I only use the MACD and the RSI on the daily time frame. But let's say I wanted to set up a style for the intraday chart. I could switch my time frame to the 5-minute time frame, and then on the studies tab, I could add the indicators that I would use on the smaller time frame. So for example, one of the indicators that I would use on the smaller time frame is my custom volume indicator. So whatever indicators you use on the smaller time frame, you could apply them, and then you could go to style and you could click save style. and you could call this one the time frame plus the indicator that you're using. So 5-minute with volume, include patterns and study set, and then click save. So if I ended up back on a default chart and I wanted to pull up my 5-minute time frame with the volume, I could go back to style and I could load that style. It's called 5-minute plus volume. Another thing you could do is Thinkorswim is not stuck just on one monitor. You could click on this show actions menu and you could detach your screen and you could put it on another monitor. Now I'm going to show you how you could set up a layout on the charts tab and flexible grid tab for active trading. So let's say I'm trading Meta. I'd want Meta. You could come back to this panel and customize your grid. How I like to set this one up is I like to have a vertical active trader and then other tickers over here. So let me show you again how to set it up. If you're here with one chart on your flexible grid tab, you're going to add one to the right. On the right, you could grab this thing in the middle and drag it to the right to make it smaller. And then here, we're going to add one to the bottom and then one to the right and one to the right. So we're going to do this layout with 5 grids open. Then we're going to turn off customize grid. And let's say I wanted to trade Meta today. I could type in Meta here. And the first thing I could do is link Meta to a symbol. So Meta's on 5, and then I could put 5 here, and now I have 2 Metas here. We're gonna put something else here, but let's say we're gonna put 8 and 9 here. And then here, we're gonna put 8 or 9. We're gonna turn off the chart and we're gonna turn on active trader by clicking it. You could drag this a little to the right so you could see your prices. Through the trade tab, you could select your option contracts, and through the trade tab, I'll send my option contracts to 8 and 9. So this is what the trade tab looks like on Thinkorswim. And let's say I wanted to choose an 8-day to expiration, and I'm not sure yet if I want to take a call or a put. And I could put them both on my screen so I'm prepared for both scenarios. So the contract that I want to select, I could right click on it and I could send it to 8. Once we look back on the chart, you'll see that call contract came here to the chart. Next, let's say I want to put, I could select the contract I want to choose, and then I could send that to 9. And now when I come back to the chart, I see a call contract for Meta and a put contract for Meta. What I do is on the top left screen, usually I'll watch it on the higher time frame. And then on the bottom left screen, I'll watch it on the lower time frame. For the option contract charts, I'll switch it to the 1-minute time frame. I'll remove this study, and we could also go back to chart settings and we could go to options and remove the volume subgraph. Once we customize our appearance for the option, we could go to style, and we could also save this as a style, and I call it 1-minute options chart, and include patterns and study set and click save. On these options charts, I could load my style I have saved for it, and we could easily change those settings in just one click of a button. Now I want you to pay attention to this. It says Meta expiration date C strike price. This one says Meta expiration date P strike price. So this one I put on 8 is the call, and this one I put on 9 is the put. So let's say if price does reject my supply zone and I want to take the put, then I'll put my symbol link for active trader on 9. This will allow me to trade the put. But if I do decide to trade the call, if price comes down and tests the demand zone, then I could change that 9 to an 8, and now here I could trade my call contract. Once you save this layout, you could also save your grid. You could come to this section, show grid actions, and save your flexible grid. We could call this one Meta Call and Put Active Trader Layout and save it. If our layout had just disappeared and we deleted everything and we wanted our previous layout that we just did to reload again, all we need to do is reload it by looking and finding the name that we just saved that grid as, and it will reload. And then to make these things go away, you just have to come back to show grid actions and turn off customize grid. There's another version of this that I like to lay out on the charts tab. So on the charts tab, it's not a flexible grid where you could customize the orientation of every grid. On the charts tab, it's more like a 4x4 type grid. Whenever we click this section, it will open squares. So for example, we probably don't want to do this. This is way too much, but what I like to use is 4 squares. So once again, let's say I was trading Apple now. I could type in Apple here. I could even link the apples together, and then I I could load my saved style. On the bottom left chart, I like to watch it on the smaller time frame. On the top left chart, I like to watch it on the higher time frame. On this chart, you could link it to the symbol connected to your option contracts. And on this chart, you're gonna unselect C for chart and you're gonna select active trader. I want you to pay attention. If you want to trade Apple, you need to make sure that you don't have meta contracts pulled up. You want to select a fresh contract for Apple and send it over to the symbol that you've selected. So I just sent over an Apple contract over to 8. And now you could see I have an Apple call pulled up. For the options chart, I'll load the option style I have saved. And now this is the layout that I'll use for a day trade if I'm just choosing one direction. If I just need one, I could pull up the call here and then have active trader here, look at the small time frame and look at the high time. Once you've set up your grid layout like this on the charts tab, you could come to the top and here's where you could save your grid out. And you could save your grid with whatever name you choose. For example, we could call this one Apple Active Trader. So if we deleted everything and for some reason it went back to default, all you need to do is come right and load the name that you saved. Active Trader, load, and now it reloads. That's basically everything you need to set up to start day trading on Thinkorswim. If you want me to personally sit with you, look at your charts, and guide you trade by trade, that's what my one-on-one mentorship is for. The link to apply for the one-on-one mentorship is in the description below. And if you're brand new to trading, watch my beginner's guide to becoming a day trader next. You can watch that video right here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.